If you heard the word jam on the traffic news, what would it bring to mind? You might start worrying about being late to work or missing your holiday flight. Nearly everyone in this room will agree that the word jam in a driving context brings nothing but misery. This is because meaning is contextual, and we can use it in a flexible way. Now, what if you heard the word jam at the breakfast table? Exactly. We can easily switch between different aspects of meaning. But what would happen if we lost this flexibility? People with aphasia following a brain stroke experience this in their everyday life. Their knowledge is intact, but their thinking is inflexible. For example, one person we worked with knew how to use a razor for shaving in his own bathroom, but he could no longer recognize the object when it was presented in the unusual setting of a hotel room. Now you might be thinking, isn't the way we understand meanings always influenced by the environment we're in? Of course, but for people with aphasia, there might be more. They may be misled by facial expressions that are not appropriate to the message being conveyed, or by being in places in which words typically mean something different. To test the effect of emotions and locations on patients' understanding of words, I designed an experiment. First, I presented pictures of facial expressions or locations normally associated with a certain interpretation of a word, say, traffic jam. Then, I showed patients words with multiple interpretations, like jam, and tested their understanding. Compared with people without brain injury, patients with aphasia were helped by the relevant context. But when I used mismatching expressions or environments, like a happy face for traffic jam, they struggle to ignore the misleading images. If aphasia sufferers cannot control contextual cues, this can have serious consequences for communication. For example, they might be deceived when bad news is communicated with a smile. I will share the findings with the patients, their families, and speech and language therapists to enable them to develop more effective styles of communication. In addition, my research highlights the role of certain brain regions damaged in the patients in mental flexibility. In our modern, technologically connected world, our need to understand the brain is greater than ever. We're trying to answer questions like, how do we make artificial systems more intelligent? How do we get machines to decode surrounding context and emotion and adjust their behavior accordingly? The deeper we dive into our understanding of the brain, the closer we get to the answers. And perhaps one day in the near future, you might even be able to teach your Alexa to automatically order pizza for you if you sound sad.